that they were playing a
You're right.
double splatling comp, which is always very
Double
interesting.
splatling?
Yeah, Shisaw and had it, and then I
Okay.
think it was Luhui on not Shrimp, 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 Shrimp. You
Shrimp,
can
shrimp,
hear
shrimp.
that the teams are very enthusiastic.
Okay, we've got the Bow Dynamo comp coming out. That's probably going to be pretty
Yeah.
slow here, but they're going to have a whole lot of map control.
Definitely. And from Tactiquila, we're seeing Octobrush, 2 Splatlings, and a Blaster.
Absolute monster of a stat control comp coming from Tactiquila.
Definitely.
Oh, and just as I say that, 2 go down to the Blaster in the street. Can we get a third? That's 3. Do we see an opening quad straight away? Not quite.
So close, but we just barely missed the shot on Scallops. Scallops having to retreat from the Nautilus pushing up front. We see now Blasters spawned in. Bluey on the Nautilus, getting so far deep in there, being able to get helped by players Zipcaster. Some nice show of team play here. And most of this map is yellow. That's Tactiquila's color. And they're having a nice time controlling it.
Very dominating opening push from Tactiquila. We saw some amazing movement from Knot and Brush and all that. We're getting a trade up on their plat, but it looks like the map control is just entirely yellow, like you were saying. I mean, they're trying to start a push over here from Freezer. You see the Dynamo trying to push the stack, but there's just no foothold for them to grab.
Yeah, no, we've got Cooler coming out from Nutmeg with a splashdown coming out. This is the time they can spend some resources. We're in a 3v3.
Only a few
Certainly
seconds.
scrappy. Dynamo goes down to player, unable to find the trade, and they were not able to uncap that zone.
Very quick sweep coming out there against Costco Shrimp Cocktail. They really, I mean, that opening fight was massive for them. Blaster immediately took that right side, forced even the last player to jump, basically giving them a wipe, and they just never got back in. They tried Freezer, they tried their plat, and both routes were entirely locked down by Tactiquila.
Yeah, amazing area control from team name Tactiquila. Certainly really strong showing coming out from them. I loved the team play with the zip. That's definitely something you have to follow up on, and we saw that from Tactiquila. Dang, that's
Not
unheard
enough
of.
time. I think the game is starting.
Saf cameo on stream, that's crazy. Love to see it. She just like reached her hand just a little bit.
And
Loading in, we're seeing the S blast come out instead of short blast from it, and
that, same
keeping the
comps.
brush. Same comp for CSC11.
Let's see if we see one of those opening flanks here, because I think that Blaster is probably going to go for the exact same play they were last time, potentially with some Knot support like we're seeing on the left there.
Yep, we see.
But actually, Costco Shrimp Cocktail is taking the initiative.
Yeah, definitely. They're starting to push through our left side of the map now. They just keep getting pained up. No one's gone down. Still in neutral. JJ on the S-Blast went for something, had to jump out. Keeping safe is a good idea. One going down on both sides. This is still neutral. Got some specials online we're going to see. We had 2 coolers popped. I forgot that it was a double cooler comp. This is definitely CSC's time to fight, but it looks like Tactiquila has taken the tower here.
Yeah, I think that the big issue that CSC had there is they were using a lot of defensive specials, and so it ended up that Tactiquila just waited them out. You know, you got the chumps, you got the cooler online, but at the end of the day, you give it a few seconds, and immediately your blaster runs in, and you get 2 or 3 there like we just saw.
Exactly, and we see Kaze here with a splashdown looking for some big impact, holding on to it, which I like here because I don't want to immediately pop it in. Cooler is coming out for Tactiquila. They are in for a strong push. They've still got another special. Zip coming out from player. Immediately gets 1, I think. About to find a second. And it is still going. Oh, I got traded out.
And
but
that Zip goes down. That takes the splashdown too. So that is really the only tool that CSC had to stop it now. And I think if we can see him get back on tower, this might be the end already again.
Exactly. We see Scallops on tower fighting for it. Unfortunately, it was not enough. I do want to say one thing I really liked is Shisa jumped off tower when her team was down. It's not something that you see a whole lot. Like, stalling the tower is really powerful there, and I really like seeing that because it let Tactiquila keep control of the objective without throwing their bodies at it.
Absolutely. It is extremely easy and common to greed that tower when you're down to those last few points, but giving the time to let your team respawn there was absolutely, I think, the defining thing that let that game go so fast.
Definitely.
Because we see the brush jump back in, and that gets the final kill. It wasn't even the splatling. All they had to do was stall and wait, and their front lines can take care of the rest.
Yeah,
We can
exactly.
only hope not.
Too many have fallen to the League of Legends.
It's an extremely unfortunate syndrome. But we're going straight in here to Museum D'Alfonsino Rainmaker. We're probably going to see a right drop here, I think, especially with the sploosh coming out here for Tactiquila. That is a very strong opening push. They're just going to rat, and it's going to be very hard for CSC to get him out.
Certainly. No right drop like you said, at least not the far right. We do. Oh, I'm looking at the teams the wrong way. So yes, there was a right drop from some team. At this point, I'm not sure.
I think it was CSC because they're green.
Yeah. Okay. CC goes one down. This is Tactiquila's kind of control now. Nutmeg going to the rush though.
Oh.
Check. Do they make it? Almost.
Extraordinarily greedy, but I respect the play. I mean, we see an immediate rush there. They really lost mid-control so quick. I don't think they had much of a better option because at the very least, they're now able to stall TNT down until they can get that, but the hammer comes out.
Hammer from player, those are always scary to play against. He's got a good sploosh, good hammer. Goes down to Scallops and K's though. Very good. TNT is keeping paint control for the most part. K's gets a nice pick, goes for a splashdown, that gets another. 2 kills for K's before getting traded out by JJ on the S-Blast. Right now, Tactiquila just has to hold their space. They don't have to push through. They don't really have the resources for it. They just need to hold their space.
CSC is getting some really key picks here, and they sent him 2 down, but honestly, TNT just wants to keep jumping in, and they may get away with it unless the Dynamo gets a huge flank here, trying to pick again just to drop it off their plat and get it out of the clutches of TNT by any means necessary, and it looks like they may actually regain mid-control that way. They even dodge the hammer.
Hammer dodges are crazy, and they both die. Nutmeg and... Is that K's again on the zap? No, I don't think so.
That is K's, yeah.
Oh, that is K's. Okay, that's good. TNT has control of the plat now with Shisa on pen. By the way, that's not something I see Shisa on very often. Doing a good job just holding space there. Nice little sprinkler on the spinner. Players now starting to push up. This is the time for the Rat to move forward, I think.
And we see a drop off their plat going right. I'm not sure what Case is going to do there, but it could be something big. Nutmeg just barely avoiding that Rainmaker, and the second cooler comes out as they try desperately to hold on to their plat control here, but the Dynamo goes down.
K's getting a nice pick on Shisa, though. Splashdown coming out, and the cooler does not block it. The Rainmaker is down. This is CSC's time to paint up and get some control of the map. We see Scallop starting to look... Bluey was somehow... No, that's Player. Player was ratting around, able to just kill 2 of CSC's members. And we now see Tactiquila has control of mid yet again. They're just really keeping a good hold on it.
It is extremely unfortunate because to get mid control, they really need Scallops on that bow to be able to get into a better position. But that Nautilus and the Blaster combo just wants to poke, 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 keeping Scallops as far back in their base as possible, meaning that CSC just doesn't have the backline support that they're going to need to retake that mid.
Certainly. And we see now we've got Shisa on the Rainmaker just kind of dancing around. They might be going for it now. K is able to find a pick. I will say CSC is doing a good job of holding their space at the very least. Tactiquila has been at this 29-point mark for a while now. Player ratting gets shut down by Lila on this app. That's who it was. And honestly, wonderful read from Lila. Unfortunately, they go down. Bluey gets Prox Aura. This might be the end. CSC is going to have to kind of throw everything they have at it because Tactiquila's just got so much control here.
It's such a scary position to have the knot up there, and it looks like Scallops is really trying to push him out, and they manage to, but it might not be enough unless the Dynamo is able to get that key pick. Honestly, like you said, CSC is holding a very, very firm line at that 29-point mark because despite their inability to retake mid so far, these weapons are all extremely solid at just holding the space they do have. So with that Dynamo and the bow up there, there's very little that Team Name can do without a proper wipe.
Definitely. CSC's like that bow that Dynamo holds the space and then the dualies can go in for a quick pick. Zap's able to watch the front line for Rats. It's definitely a solid holding comp. They just cannot find a foothold to get back further into mid. With Rain out, the Rainmaker shield popped, Bluey picking it up. This is the run. They're going to be trying to make it. We've broke the lead. They're going for the final check, and they get it.
So close. You really saw, I mean, right there you see Nutmeg on the dually, I think, right there, diving, but it just wasn't quite enough. Barely. Everyone is staggered on respawn, and they finally, with that curling bomb, get one quick push to knock out.
Very, very nice run. They just slipped by CSC. Certainly a tough thing to see in Rainmaker, but that is how Rainmaker happens a lot. It's either that or it's stalling to hell and back. So,
which we saw a bit of both, so that's really, I mean, the Rainmaker experience in a nutshell. Extremely solid performance from CSC holding on their plat there, but like we were saying, they just couldn't quite get back into mid, and so it was only a matter of time until Tactiquila got that one lucky push they needed.